Build a complete POS and inventory system in Excel VBA. Have you ever wanted to turn Microsoft Excel into a fully functional point of sale and inventory system without writing hundreds of lines of confusing code? In this tutorial, we are building a clean modern POS interface using Excel VBA from scratch. It automatically updates inventory stock, calculates totals. First, let's set up our data storage. We need 2 worksheets in our workbook. So we have to rename sheet 1 as inventory and sheet 2 as sales. Create these headers in inventory, item code, then item name, then price, and finally stock quantity. For sales, we have date, item code, quantity, unit price, and total amount. Now let's convert the data ranges into tables. To do that, we will select the data range. Press Ctrl and T. Select my table has headers. Click OK and give the table a name. For the inventory table, we will say TBL inventory. We will do the same for sales data set and call it TBL sales. This is good to do so that our code can dynamically scale as our data grow. Now let's go to the developer tab, click on it and go to the VB editor. Let's insert a new user form by clicking on insert and then insert a new user form. Give it the name FRM POS. And still in the property window, select font and change the font type to Sego UI. And I'll choose font size 12. You can select any font type and size of your choice. Click OK to exit. Let's give it the caption POS. Now let's make our user form wider and insert a label. Let's give our label a caption POS and inventory system dashboard. Let's center align the text and increase the font size to 20. Then make it bold. Let's insert a new frame. Give it the caption item selection. Insert a label with the caption item code. Then insert a combo box and give it the name CBO item. Insert another label with the caption price. Now insert a text box and call it TXT price. Let's insert another label and say stock available. Let's insert another label and call it LBL stock. Insert another label and give it a caption quantity. Text box and call it TXT quantity. Let's insert another frame. Let's give the frame the caption current transaction. Now let's add a list box. Let's call it list cart. Insert a label and give it the caption total. Add a text box and name it txt total. Now let's add our buttons. Let's give this a caption. Add to cart. Let's give it the name btn add. Let's call it clear. And give it the name btn clear. Let's add another button. Let's give it the caption complete transaction. And give it the name btn checkout. In the UserForm initialized event, let's write this. Dim ws as worksheet. Also dim I as long. Let's set our worksheet as worksheet inventory cbo item dot clear Now let's write this loop. For I is equal to 2 to ws.cells into bracket dot rows dot count comma 1 dot end Excel app dot row next I cbo item dot add item is ws dot cells I comma 1 dot value. For the list cart, let's also write this. Dot column count is equal to 4. txt total dot value is equal to 0 0 0 and so lbl header dot back color equal to rgb 30, 41, 59. LBL header dot for color is RGB 255, 255, 255. Then btn add dot back color will be equal to RGB 5150.10. Also btn clear dot back color is equal to RGB 100 116 139. You can choose any color code of your choice when designing your user form. To allow us to automatically fill the product price and display the quantity, double-click on CBO item and write this: dim WS as worksheet, dim found item as range. Set WS as worksheet into bracket inventory. Also set found item to ws.range A to A dot find into bracket CBO item dot value. Look at Excel hole. If not found item is nothing, then and if, then txt price dot value equal to ws dot cells found item dot row comma 3 dot value. Also lbl stock dot caption is equal to ws dot cells found item dot row comma 4 dot value. Double click on the btn ad and write this code. This code will allow us to display the selected item into the list cart. So we would write if CBO item dot value equal to empty. This is to validate that CBO dot value or txt quantity dot value is empty, then exit sub. So if it is empty, we will exit the sub and the code will not continue to run. After that, write dim item total as double. Item total is equal to CDBL into bracket txt price dot value times into bracket txt quantity dot value. So with list cart and with, let's add the items. So dot add item, which is any value that is in CBO item. So CBO item dot value should be added. Then the list into bracket list count 1,1 equal to txt price. So the list into bracket list count 1,2 will be equal to txt qty dot value. Also list into bracket list count 1,3 equal to format item total, then the format is 0. After that, let's update the grand total So we would say txt total dot value is equal to format cdbl into bracket txt total dot value plus item total, comma. The next piece of code we are going to write is for the clear button. So we would say, let's write this private sub clear. Now we can call this procedure in the clear button. Let's now write code for BTN checkout. Dim WS sales as worksheet. Also dim WS inventory as worksheet. Dim I as long. Dim item code as string. Dim quantity sold as long. Then dim found item as range. Let's set our WS sales to the sales workbook and also set WS as worksheet inventory. Let's write this for loop. I is equal to 0 to list cat dot list count. Next I. Item code is equal to list cat dot list into bracket I comma 0. Quantity sold equal to say long into list cat dot list comma I to 2. Now let's record our sales to the workbook. So we would say last row equal to sales dot sales WS sales dot rows dot count comma 1 dot end into bracket Excel app row plus 1. WS sales dot sales to bracket last row comma 1 dot value equal to date. WS sales dot sales into bracket last row comma 2 dot value equal to item code. WS sales last row comma 4 dot value equal to list cat dot list into bracket I comma 1. Also WS sales dot sales into last row comma 5 dot value equal to list cat dot list into bracket I comma 3. Now let's update the inventory stock quantity. Then we can write set found item equal to WS INV the range A to A find comma look at. If not found item is nothing, then WS inv dot sales into found item dot row, comma 4 dot value equal to WSIMV dot cells row, comma 4 minus QTY sold, and if everything checks out correctly, then we will have this message. Then let's cut or clear txt total dot value equal to, let's run our code. Now let's test it out. Let's select an item from our dummy inventory list. We have stock available is 45, so we want to buy 10 of it. Let's add it to cart. Item number 2, let's buy, let's say 20 of it. Add it to cart. Item number 3, quantity 1, add it to cart, and then we can click on complete transaction. If we should look at the stock quantity here, there's a reduction in our stock quantity. Let's also look at the sales table, and this is the update that we have from the sales table. Let's run it once more. Let's buy product 8. We have 18 available stock. Let's say we are buying 10 of it. Add it to cart. Let's select item 4, 40. Note that we have 60 available stock now. Let's add it to cart. Complete the transaction, and instantly the stock level is updated. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, comment below if you want me to create part 2, where we will build receipt printing, barcode scanning integration, and many more. See you then, and bye for now.